The Amazon Originals Invincible series has charmed audiences with its intense space drama and has not failed in introducing a plethora of deadly alien species. Although the Viltrumites possess unmatched strength and speed, another species demonstrates that brute force alone does not ensure galactic domination. We are introduced to the Sequids, a force to be reckoned with and possibly the most intimidating threat to emerge in this universe. Their arrival promises to redefine the stakes and keep audiences on the edge of their seats. With their debut in the second season, the reasons for their deadly nature have become chillingly clear, and that's what we explore in this video today. Proceed with caution if you haven't watched the latest episode. Neil Armstrong, eat your heart out, as we enter major spoiler territory.
Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Who are the Sequids, and what is their origin story? The Sequids are nothing but a destructive parasitic alien species that has ravaged the universe, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. Their destructive path began ages ago, as they hijacked numerous hosts across the galaxy, unifying their collective strength to wreak havoc on a universal scale. However, their reign of terror was eventually halted when their spacecraft crash-landed on Mars due to a malfunction. During their Martian exile, the Sequids' daunting powers were significantly diminished. The shape-shifting Martian skin prevented them from taking control, forcing the Sequids into a humiliating servitude as they posed no threat to them. How does the Sequid launch its attack in the series? It must have been humiliating for the Sequids, being enslaved to Martians with minimal power, but their luck took a turning point when a team of astronauts from Earth embarked on the first mission to Mars, with Invincible tasked by the Global Defense Agency to ensure their safety. The astronauts were quickly kidnapped by Martians upon landing and taken to the Emperor, who ordered their execution to prevent the Sequids from exploiting them for an invasion. Invincible saved the astronauts, only to discover that a Martian shapeshifter had replaced Russ Livingston. The real Russ was captured by the Sequids, enabling them to unite and launch a fierce invasion of Mars. The Sequids' assault on Mars quickly turned to Earth. The Guardians of the Globe faced overwhelming odds, and the temporary victories were fleeting. Shapesmith transformed into a barrier to protect his teammates. The momentary reprieve allowed Robot to launch a device capable of purging the Sequids from their hosts. Invincible utilized the device to free Livingston, but the Sequids quickly regained control of Adam, Eve, and Robot. The Guardians restrained the two, and Invincible activated the device once more, successfully expelling the Sequids. After securing the Martian ship and leaving the Sequids without hosts, the Guardians felt relieved, thinking the threat was over. Unbeknownst to them, a lone Sequid had secretly embedded itself in Russ Livingston's stomach and was inadvertently taken back to Earth. When Russ vomited, he unleashed the dormant Sequid that quickly re-enslaved him. The physical appearance and inspiration of Sequids. Sequids are known for their distinctive pink squid-like appearance. They have 3 tentacles, similar to those of starfish, and cranial growth resembling brain-shaped heads. The Sequids use their tentacle-like limbs to puncture into victims' skin to make them do their bidding. The visual composition of Sequids draws inspiration from various sci-fi sources, particularly DC Comics' Starro the Conqueror, a gigantic alien starfish capable of controlling spores to do its bidding. The Sequids share similarities with the Formic species, aka Buggers from Ender's Game, who prioritize their collective unity over individual existence. The Formic species have a centralized queen that governs their hive, while Sequids don't follow this structure. The Sequids' parasitic nature also resembles the head crabs from the Half-Life universe. These omnivorous alien organisms attach to hosts and manipulate their minds. The Sequids' symbiotic relationship with their hosts may have been influenced by Marvel Comics symbiotes, sentient alien entities that bond with hosts to enhance their abilities. By merging characteristics from these legendary sci-fi villains, the Sequids have developed into a distinct and powerful parasitic alien species. What are the powers and abilities of Sequids? The Sequids are truly dangerous yet remarkable beings, exhibiting an impressive array of abilities that set them apart from the rest. Mind control. Upon merging with a host, they acquire the ability to control minds, exerting full influence over the victims and directing their every action. Collective consciousness. When their consciousness is unified, Sequids can coordinate attacks, making them a significant threat. The ability is known as hive mind communication. Without a host, Sequids become disorganized and vulnerable. gathering forces in greater quantity. The Sequids enjoy a remarkable numerical advantage, thanks to their incredible reproductive capabilities, which help them build a tremendous invasion force that reaches the millions. Their sheer numbers can easily overwhelm the strongest opponents, like Adam Eve, without even needing to tap into their parasitic abilities. Unlike Viltrumites, the Sequids demonstrate that brute strength is not always the definitive measure of power. They indicate that strategic adaptability, collective unity, and cerebral manipulation can be far more brutal and effective in achieving dominance. How does the Sequid control and function as a hive mind? To gain the upper hand over an individual, Sequids must physically attach themselves to a host organism. Once attached, they penetrate the nervous system and bring the host under their control, transforming them into puppet-like drones. This process creates a unified consciousness, allowing the Sequids to mastermind the movements and behaviors of every infected individual, forming an interconnected hive mind network. As more hosts fall under their influence, these individuals' cumulative knowledge and abilities are shared among the hive, enhancing the Sequid's intelligence and strategic capabilities. This enables them to operate as a single entity, controlling multiple bodies simultaneously. As the Sequid population increases, they gain the potential to overpower their enemies. However, this intricate network has a critical weakness. If the central Sequid leader is eliminated or destroyed, the entire network collapses, freeing all infected hosts. Without a host, the Sequids become mindless and powerless, wandering aimlessly in search of a new host to re-establish their control over the universe. This vulnerability highlights the delicate balance between the Sequid's collective consciousness, making their hive mind both a powerful asset and a significant liability. Are there any limits to Sequid's mind control abilities? Even with their extraordinary brainwashing abilities, the Sequids have some key limitations. Number 1. Symbiotic attachment. Sequids have an inescapable need to physically attach to a host neural path so that they can be used as marionettes. Without a suitable host, they're pretty much controllable, which is what the Martians did. Number 2. Species resistance. Certain specific species, like the Martians and Viltrumites, possess inherent immunity to Sequid control. Martians' unique shapeshifting ability prevents the Sequids from interfacing with their nervous system, while Viltrumites' incredibly thick skin makes it impossible for the parasites to attach and take control. Number 3. Hive mind vulnerability. We all know that the hive mind of Sequids improves coordination among infected individuals, but it also presents a critical vulnerability. If the central controlling Sequid is destroyed, all the hosts under its influence can be liberated, highlighting the fragile balance of their collective consciousness. Number 4. Physical removal. Forcibly removing a Sequid from a host body immediately disrupts its control, indicating that its influence on the nervous system is not permanent and can be reversed through physical separation. Number 5. Dependence on collective consciousness. Detached Sequids lack intelligence and coordination, relying on a network of infected hosts to function at their full potential. This limitation highlights their blood-sucking nature and dependence on hosts for cognitive abilities. The vulnerabilities of the Sequids explain why, despite their terrifying potential, they've not been able to overrun stronger civilizations, like the Martians or Earth's heroes in Invincible. How is the personality of Sequids with and without a host? Whether in the comics or the series, the Sequids are not just one in number. They are many, who share minds and exhibit a group mentality, enabling them to pose a significant threat when unified through a host. If they're able to capture just one innocent soul, the Sequids can easily synchronize and elevate their strength and malevolence. Without hosts, the Sequids seem mindless, aimless, and submissive in their natural state. When they crashed on Mars, they battled for centuries with the Martians to gain the upper hand, but in the end, they were enslaved by the Martians, whom they obediently served without question. Nevertheless, this subjugation did not prevent the Sequids from seeking hosts. They kept trying desperately to attach themselves to any living being to establish control. When Sequids possess a host, they experience a powerful transformation, becoming formidable, ruthless, and destructive entities. They embody the essence of conquerors, flourishing in the upheaval and devastation they create, and finding strength and purpose in the chaos they unleash. Their relentless quest for retribution can be seen when they try to take over Mars, a mission they ventured on when they took control of Russ Livingston. Sequids are smart and harbor strategic awareness. They know their limitations and know when to step back by acknowledging potential threats. For instance, the Sequids could remember past failures, like being unable to control Invincible, and adapt their tactics accordingly. Although the Sequids are arrogant and overconfident, they're intelligent and resourceful, capable of devising contingency plans, shown by their ability to hide in plain sight, waiting for the perfect moment to strike and reinitiate their possession cycle. Is there a hierarchy in the Sequid hive mind? As mentioned earlier, the Sequids operate as a hive mind, meaning they have no hierarchical structure. They only form a cohesive and formidable force when connected to a host. In the absence of hosts, individual Sequids are mostly mindless and chaotic. How do Sequids reproduce? The reproductive mechanisms of the Sequids in the Invincible universe are unclear, but their population can expand rapidly under favorable conditions. For example, they quickly assembled a massive invasion force of millions when they were lucky and found an appropriate host for bonding. Historical records suggest that the Martians, who enslaved the Sequids, used selective breeding techniques to amplify the Sequid strength over centuries. Even though the specifics of Sequid reproduction remain murky, these examples show us their remarkable ability to quickly increase their population, primarily when their parasitic nature delivers an advantageous situation. What are Sequids' nutritional needs? As parasitic cephalopods, the Sequids rely on a symbiotic relationship with their host to sustain themselves. They integrate into the host's nervous system and tap into its biological resources. They directly absorb essential nutrients such as glucose, amino acids, or other biomolecules and energy from the host's bloodstream, neural tissues, or other vital systems. Without a host, individual Sequids enter a dormant-like state marked by reduced activity, diminished intelligence, and a lack of coordination. Some even die of old age if they don't find a suitable host for a long time, which suggests that host attachment is very crucial, not only for manipulating victims as dummies, but also for their basic survival, nourishment, and mental activities. Marvelous verdict. It's evident that the Sequids will serve as the primary antagonists in this season of Invincible. The thought of the chaos they could cause if they successfully invade Earth and take control of so many humans sends a shiver down my spine. Will Mark Grayson be able to stop the Sequid invasion on Earth? Will Russ Livingston survive the mind control or succumb to Sequid manipulation? I suppose we'll find out soon enough. Till then, have a kicking marvelous day.